Hey, everybody. So this is your last week of assignments. You'll have assignment 7.1 and 7.2. You have about a week and a half to complete them. They're both due Thursday, May 7th. But this is about the ePortfolio. And essentially, the purpose of this assignment is for you to demonstrate to a chosen audience what you learned in the course and what's next on your ed. It would be ideal for you in terms of learning if you're learning tech skills as you put this together. We should think of the term e-portfolio as collection that demonstrates your learning. I didn't put, I have it in quotations because some folks associate certain things with the word portfolio. And I just want you to think of this as collection of things that demonstrates learning, but that's a klutzy title. So the collection is form agnostic, meaning it really can be in any kind of format, as long as it meets the requirements that are outlined in the assignment details section. And I give a couple examples at the very bottom here of the format. So a screencast with visuals from assignments that you talk through, narrated slideshow, storyboard, or book, website with combination of media and screencast, mind map, linked videos, Padlet with multimedia, any combination above or anything I didn't mention. Again, the key is that you express what you've learned about EdTech in some kind of collection that meets the requirements of the project. This might sound overwhelming, but it's important to remember you've already done a lot of this work in previous assignments. You just haven't synthesized a lot of it. So that's what this assignment is about. So the details: articulate what you've learned about EdTech during this class, how you think it can benefit your students, and how you'll continue to learn about EdTech after the class is over. And to be included are 3 sections. There's the general information about the ePortfolio. There's specific reflections about your learning. And then there's general reflections about your learning. And so I'll go through one by one. So include in the articulation of what you've learned, what you're going to learn, how it's going to benefit your students. In generally, who is your audience for this portfolio? Like, it could be a job portfolio, or it could be for your principal or for your parents if you're a teacher. And what they can expect in this portfolio, ePortfolio. And then what format did you choose to do this in, to express your learning? And why did you choose that format? Then specific reflections on learning. For at least 2 types of EdTech tools that you learned about. What type of tool is it? Like, is it a video editing tool? Is it a multimedia synthesis tool? What you learned about that tool and how that can support your students' learning. And then what else you want to learn, you have yet to learn about either this tool or a tool that's similar, and why that's important to you. So that's one of the specific learning reflections. The second, choose 2 of the 3 kind of frameworks that we really wrestled with or learned about: SAMR, UDL, or the ISTE standards for educators. And for each of those 2, generally what it is and why it matters or should matter to teachers, and then the most helpful thing you learned about it. And then finally, general reflections on your learning. How has your mindset or your approach to finding EdTech tools on your own evolved? Give an example of how you use multiple means of expression in this ePortfolio. So representing the same information using multiple means. How what you've learned, generally speaking, is going to benefit your students, or is likely to. What and how you'll continue to learn about EdTech after this class. And then finally, what you're most proud of learning and doing. Put as much personality into these as you like. I personally, I always appreciate seeing, I would rather people err on the side of personality than content, but because that's more engaging for me. But continue to be in whatever's comfortable for you in terms of expressing yourself. And if you have questions, of course, always ask. Thanks.